Solve the equation. We have 7/8 x minus 1 equals 1/2 x plus 2. So here we are. We have fractions mixed in with the equation here. So there are a couple different ways to approach this. One way is you can just leave the fractions in the equation and try to solve. So you can subtract 1/2 x from both sides. Now the right side's easy. 1/2 x minus 1/2 x makes 0. So you just have 0 plus 2. And you don't need to write this 0, so really you just have 2. Left side, well, you have to deal with the common denominator situation to subtract the fractions. So you have 7/8 x minus 1/2 x. You need to multiply by 4/4 for the 1/2. So it's 4/8 x. So you have 7/8 x minus 4/8 x, which is 3/8 x. That equals 2. So you have 3/8, oh, and the minus 1, don't forget that. Bring down the 1. So now you have to add 1 to both sides. 3/8 x equals 3. Now I have 3/8 x. To get rid of the 3/8, you can multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. Or you could multiply by 8 and then divide by 3 after, but using the reciprocal is like a 2 for, you get 2 for 1. So what happens here is you get 8 times 3, which is 24, divided by 3 times 8, which is 24, x equals 3 times 8, which is 24, then divided by 3. And if you didn't see that, you can put 3/1. 24 divided by 24, those simplify, you just get x. 24 divided by 3 equals 8. So you get x equals 8. So that's the solving technique you use when you keep the fractions in the equation. And there's another way. You can get rid of the fractions, and you multiply every single term, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, by the lowest common denominator, which is 8 in this case. Now watch what happens. 8 times 7/8 x minus 8 times 1 equals 8 times 1/2 x plus 8 times 2. So 8/1 here. 8 times 7 is 56. But then 56 divided by 8 is 7, so you just get 7x here. Minus 8 times 1, which is simply 8, equals 8/1. That means you're going to get 8/2, which is 4, so 4x, plus 8 times 2, which is 16. Now for some of you, you might prefer to do this because it gets rid of all the fractions in the equation. It's easier to solve. You don't have to worry about common denominator and all that stuff. But if you want to work with the fractions, you can. Just be very careful whichever way you do it. So to finish solving here, I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. That leaves me with 7x minus 4x, which is 3x, minus 8, equals 4x minus 4x, which is 0, and then plus 16. And again, we don't need to write the 0 here. Want to get the x's by itself, 3x minus 8, you're going to have to add 8 to both sides. So you get 3x, and then negative 8 plus 8 is 0, equals 16 plus 8, which is 24, and you don't need to write this 0. Divide by 3, because you have 3 times x. 3 simplify, x equals 24 divided by 3, which is 8. So you can see two completely valid ways to solve this equation. They're both very different in their thought process. You can choose whichever way you like better.